This is Joshua Stulman from BrooklynComicShop.com, and one of the many things I do other than Brooklyn Comic Shop is I also make a Jewish superhero comic book called Israeli Defense Comics. So making patriotic artwork is very close to my heart. Today we're going to look at Jack Kirby penciled but finished by myself. It's a comic art print called American Patriots featuring Captain America and Bucky. It's an exclusive to the Brooklyn Comic Shop, and I just wanted to give you a little look into how we came up with the image and some of the changes that came from the beginning to the finished product. So to give you a good idea, you have the second state on the left, which is all the inking and embellishing by myself. The finished product on the right is the actual comic art print that shows Captain America and Bucky with the eagle in the background and the American flag. And you can see that it's already signed. Originally, this piece was done for the Jewish Comic-Con, April 2018. And so for the Comic-Con, we did an exclusive limited edition print of 50 prints. And you can see the Brooklyn Jewish Art Gallery logo in the bottom right-hand corner. That was a limited edition of 50 done for the Jewish Comic-Con in Brooklyn, April 2018. On our site, we are going to have the full image without the logo, and that's all the prints will also be signed, but there'll be more of an open-end edition. So now to give you a good idea of what the first state was, the first state was a Jack Kirby lithograph. This was done in 1991 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Captain America. Jack Kirby did this as a pencil sketch. It's a little bit more than a pencil sketch. You can definitely see how developed Captain America is in the center. And you can see that this is the original. It's hand signed by Jack Kirby in pencil. And it was published by First Press in the 90s, which also handled lithographs by Bob Kane as well, and a couple by Jack Kirby. So this was done for the 50th anniversary of Captain America, and it shows the history of Captain America. It shows the more modern version from the 90s, which is really just a traditional Captain America, and it's offset by a smaller version of Captain America kind of lagging behind to show the past of where it came from, and that's the 1941 version with the triangle shield. Now, if Kirby had shown this from a little bit of a different angle so that you could actually see the differences in the two costumes, you would have seen the smaller Captain America from the 40s would have had the flag on his abdomen would not have gone to the back as in the modern one. So it wouldn't have wrapped around. But because you've got two Captain Americas from the front, they kind of look the same. And because they kind of looked the same, it kind of looked odd to me. There's a big Captain America, there's a smaller Captain America, but we all know that Captain America's partner was Bucky. And so when I looked at this uninked piece, you can see the parts that are developed. I'll get in a little bit closer. The torso is clearly defined, the face is defined. But when you look at some of the other aspects, the feet are a little bit odd. They get kind of wiggly towards the outer parts. The background is kind of thrown in. All the Kirby crackle you would expect to see isn't really there. The eagle is underdeveloped. There's a little bit of wonkiness with the fist, the way the fist is being made, the way the knee juts out. And these are all aspects of, this being a finished drawing, but not a finished drawing. Not something that was inked. Something that may have been inked, or may have been prepared for an inker, but never came to fruition. And so it always bothered me. I always wanted to see this finished. And so I had an opportunity with the Jewish Comic-Con to do something fun, special for the convention. And I worked on this lithograph. In a way, I blew it up to 11 by 17, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. You can see now the two together. I went in and inked all the Kirby lines, which you can see there, fully inked. But I did a little bit more than just inking, because to me that wasn't really doing the job of an artist. I wanted to bring about a vision for Captain America that may have been a little bit more clearer than originally was, a little bit more finished than originally was. And so I went into the Captain America figure. I took a look at the knees, at the hands that had previously been done, looked at ways I could make them a little bit clearer, a little bit sharper. I went back into the feet to take a look at some of the details that I could pull out to make it a little bit more structured. And then my main contribution to the piece is really taking that smaller Captain America and turning him into Bucky. And what I did is I looked at a lot of the way Kirby was drawing at the time, around 1976, around the bicentennial issue that was released, and looked at how he was drawing Kirby, how he was drawing faces, how he was drawing Bucky, and how he was drawing faces. And I wanted to stay very true. I kept some of the imagery of the original version, but really went into more of the detail in the Bucky figure. And you can see the legs are similar, but they're slimmed down. I gave him his shirt, which has a double-breasted piece to it in the front with the button, so I made it a little bit more bulkier and squarish. Kept the same pose, removed the shield, and then to finish it out, I added all the Kirby crackle I could to make it kind of tasteful, and also, giving it that 1970s feel. I went back into the eagle and pulled out some of the details of the eagle. Went back into the background, the ground that they're kind of running towards. A little bit of throwing in the blacks to make it more solid, to bring it about. I didn't feel a need to go into the stars and the banners because I knew that was going to be colored. And the coloring came out really great. It was done by a lady named Gabby Correas, who followed really the bicentennial 1976 coloring. She did an excellent job. You can see some of the aspects that she added and made sure that the proper stars were in place, filling out the figure a little bit more, playing with it a little bit more so that you can see his fist clearly coming out above the star line. That way there's no weird tangents, and really giving it a nice finish. You can see some of the aspects of the coloring, that really subtle explosion in the background, the yellows and the orange transitioning into the flat reds. Bucky here is done in that 1940s tights style, where you get the lighter blue tone over the darker blue tone as a highlight. Nothing fancy, no lens flares. Really a solid deco piece. And classic, which is what I wanted to keep. So thank you very much for watching. You can go to brooklyncomicsshop.com to order your finished copy, the color print on the right. If you'd like the original artwork, that will also be available, only one. Same as the Jack Kirby lithograph, which is hand-signed by Jack Kirby. That will also be available at brooklyncomicsshop.com. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.